Hey, welcome to the 40 Finance channel, everybody. My name's Jeff Beers. Today I'm going to be presenting to you my bear case for Tesla stock in 2020. Tesla's obviously on fire, a lot of speculation plays about, what will they become in the future? Can they dominate the automotive industry? I'm going to sort of take the flip side and present a bear case here. So let's jump in. And hey, real quick, if you enjoy stock market analysis, investment ideas, and personal finance videos, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. Okay, so looking at Tesla from the standpoint of today, and what you see with Tesla, which I think most people already know, is a gigantic increase in share price. 52-week range on the stock is an unbelievable 176.99 to 968.99. So a 52-week spread of basically $700 or $800. It's pretty unbelievable for a stock to have that much play in it, especially for a company, of course, that is not profitable yet. There is no PE for Tesla today, and the forward PE right now is 81.30. So that forward PE, though, as we'll see in a little bit, is also very volatile. So they've been talking about profitability for a while, and it just seems like every time that they get close, things slip just a little bit further away. So if you're a standard sort of value investor, Tesla is definitely not the game for you. This is a long-term speculation play that you're anticipating that Tesla will dominate the automobile market going forward. All right, looking at the top rated analysts on tip ranks to see where their targets are for Tesla, you got a median target of 564.78. That is a minus 25% downside from where we are today. You got a high bar of 729 and a low of 325. So of the 12 analysts, very helpful to sort by best performing analysts for a big stock like Tesla, because everybody sort of throws their name in as a Tesla analyst, if you will, including myself, I guess. All right, but of the 12 top performing analysts, you got 3 buys, 5 holds, and 4 sells. And I think that what you see here is the run up, particularly when it was, $900. You're a fool not to take profits when things escalate that high. There's no doubt in my mind that Tesla price is going to go down even further from where it stands today at some point in 2020. So you just have to make sure that you understand when things have gotten too high and to sell off. Even if you're a long-term believer of Tesla, then you still have to take your profits and jump back in the stock on the dips. And that's just the smartest way to play a speculation stock. All right, so a couple quick charts here that talk about, did Tesla hit analyst projections over the past little while? And you have blue is the estimated earnings per share and orange is the reported. So the real pattern here with Tesla is there is no pattern, okay? Depending on what quarter you wake up, you have quarters where they match, you have quarters where they fall below, and then you have quarters where they go above. And over this past stretch, which is quarterly back to Q1 of 2018, you've got looks like 4 ups where they met the analyst EPS projection, and you got 4 downs where they failed to cover analyst projections for EPS. So it's almost mind-boggling to me, the roller coaster ride that this stock is going on, and I understand in a speculation environment you're going to have new costs hit the company, you're going to have unexpected delays, so on and so forth, and that you're riding that out for the long term. There's really been nothing to date that suggests that they're at any path of predictable profitability. I think every quarter over the next 2 to 3 years is going to be very close to this, right? It's going to be a lot of ups and downs. It's going to be a lot of hits and a lot of misses. One thing that I always find interesting with, sort of growth companies that are not not making a profit is the amount of money that comes in to these companies that fail to make a profit is really astounding. This chart here shows that, you know, Tesla brought in around $24 billion, $24 billion, and they could not eke out a 1 cent profit from that 24 billion. I know I'm simplifying things here, but it is rather amazing for all the units that they sold and all the things that they did that brought $24 billion into their bank account. They still failed to make a profit. That's a little hard for me to sleep on. All right, so bottom line, here's my bear case for 2020. With Tesla, their big feature for 2020 is the China gigafactory. We're already seeing issues there. The coronavirus certainly doesn't help anything, as they've had a lot of workers who are, you know, obviously unable to get to work. You know, that's not necessarily Tesla's fault, but unfortunately it still impacts the bottom line. Next on my list is the Elon Musk element, and let's face it, he's very unpredictable too. And a lot of people would argue that he should not be in the leadership position that he's in, and frankly, I agree as well. He might be the smartest man on the planet. Smart men aren't always good leaders, and truly smart men know where they fit in the world and where they can make the biggest amount of impact. I'm not a big fan of the rock star mentality out of CEOs for companies that I generally buy into, so I will say that if the bad Elon Musk returns, then Tesla's got big problems. Okay, the other thing that's holding up Tesla quite a bit is, you know, insiders and hedge funds. There's a lot of money poured into Tesla because of the growth opportunity. And if you're an insider or an employee, you're obviously waiting for the right time to sell your stock so that you can leave the company and make $1 bazillion. We're starting to reach that point where I think if you're an insider, as soon as you get a nice green patch of grass and a good stock price, it makes all the sense in the world to sell off on one of these spikes and walk away from Tesla. And when it comes to the hedge funds, they're in and out all the time, okay? Because at the end of the day, they have to send their end of the year reports. And so at the end of 2020, they have all their investors, they have to send this, you know, made up calendar date of 12/31 to say, here's, sir, madam, here's how we did for the year, right? So they don't need the volatility in their lives. And if we go through this situation later in the year, you're going to see a lot of hedge funds pull out of Tesla to take their profits. And some of them might jump in, other ones might go to other places. It just depends on what the future looks like at that moment. Tesla is not a long-term buy and hold company at this standpoint. The volatility just, it doesn't help people sleep at night. And if you're a hedge fund owner, you're always watching your Tesla because nobody wants to get left with the ticking time bomb. All right, last couple things on the list are sort of all lumped together. You know, will profits ever materialize? There's going to be a time when people finally say, you know what, enough's enough. And I don't think it's 2020, to be honest with you, because Elon's pretty good at smoothing people over. It seems like in the press. So, but you know, is it 2021? Is it 2022? How many quarters are we going to go selling, you know, X amount of units, opening new factories before people say, where are the profits? You know, is this just going to keep going on with dreams? Are we going to open a factory in Africa and Canada and wherever else? Are we just going to keep playing that game? Or are we going to actually have profits at some point? So that day of reckoning will eventually come for Tesla. We also have this, in my opinion, this oddball, like long-term quality concept with Tesla, in that it's unproven. But we're literally a battery failure away, recall away from Tesla just being a dog, right? They only have a few models of cars. So unlike, let's say, Toyota, if Toyota had an issue with 4Runners, then they lose sales from the one car till they get it sorted out. Tesla only has a few cars, and there's only one that the average Joe can afford. So if there's a problem in those vehicles, there's not a lot of diversity to spread it out. And I know that a lot of folks are big on their battery technology. Obviously, it's great, and they're a couple years ahead, just like everyone says. But at the same time, and this is the final point, if you don't think that the consumer choices for electronic vehicles are going to explode in the next few years, then you're crazy. Nobody in a marketplace environment is just going to pack up and say, you know what? Tesla's battery is the best. I'm all done here. We're out of the car business, right? It doesn't work that way. Everybody's pushing and grinding. There's only so many incremental wins you can have in a battery or other component before people catch up with you, right? And folks are going to start having more choices. And in my opinion, when you give at least Americans choices, very few people want the same thing, right? It doesn't take long to drive down the freeway and see all different kinds of pickup trucks, SUVs, minivans, compact cars, sports cars, you name it. Tesla is not going to fill the freeways with Model 3s, all right? Americans truly have distinguished tastes and a sense of independent personality that I think will prevail over the single unit model eventually. And it doesn't mean that Tesla couldn't be, like, at some point down the road, perhaps the best selling sedan in America. Like, somebody wins that prize every year. It doesn't mean that that's the only car you see on the road, right? There's a lot of other profits to be had by other companies in this space, and that's why I just think that we're a little too far ahead of ourselves in crowning a champion when there's a lot more game to be played. Guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like and subscribe. Really appreciate your support. We'll see you on the next video.